My dear friend, there comes a moment in every life when the soul leans forward whispering, "You were made for more than this." A moment when our spirit nudges us, not with force, but with a gentle truth that rises like dawn after a long night. Change is not a stranger. It stands at our doorsteps daily, knocking gently, asking, "Will you let me in today?" That motivation, that fire we seek, does not fall from the sky like rain. It grows within us, just as flowers rise from the stubborn soil. And so today I want to talk to you about how you can stir that fire inside yourself, how you can become the author of your own transformation. My dear friend, let us take a gentle walk together into the heart of the first key point, for it is the foundation upon which all true transformation is built. Before any breakthrough, before any new chapter, before any triumph whispers your name, you must be willing to tell yourself the truth. Not the comfortable truth, not the polite truth, but the truth that stands tall and unwavering even when your knees tremble in its presence. There comes a time when every soul must sit quietly with itself and listen, not to the noise of the world, not to the opinions of others, but to the soft, steady voice within. That voice, though tender, holds the courageous truth of who you are, where you stand, and where you must go. And it will not lie to you. It cannot lie to you. It was born from the deepest part of your being, the place where your strength sleeps, and your greatness waits patiently to be awakened. Telling yourself the truth is not an act of shame, it is an act of liberation. There is power in honesty. Honest words, even when whispered, can set whole lives free. But honesty with oneself is the most sacred form of truth-telling because it requires bravery. You must look inward with clear eyes and say, "This is where I am." Then with that same strength you must say, "But this is not where I am destined to remain." So many people run from their truth. They cover it with excuses, hide it behind distractions, bury it beneath the noise of busyness. They fear that facing the truth will reveal weakness, but the opposite is true. The moment you face yourself with honesty, you shine light into the shadowed corners of your life. And once light enters, darkness loses its grip. The truth does not judge you. It does not scold or shame you. It simply asks to be acknowledged. It stands before you, steady and patient, saying, "Here I am, and here you are. Now let us grow together." There is no punishment in truth, only possibility, only clarity, only the beginning of change. When you tell yourself the truth, you reclaim your authority. You take back the pen with which your story is written. You silence the doubts that once spoke with too much confidence. You stand up in your own life and declare, "I am responsible for what happens next." And responsibility, my friend, is not a burden, it is a blessing. For if you are responsible, then you are capable. If you are capable, then you are powerful. And if you are powerful, then nothing, no habit, no fear, no old behavior can hold you hostage. Now, honesty is not always gentle. Sometimes it arrives like a storm, shaking loose the illusions you have held onto for too long. Sometimes it stirs emotions you believed were buried for good. You may cry, you may tremble, you may feel the very earth beneath you shift, but you will survive this shaking, and you will rise from it wiser and more grounded. The truth only asks one thing of you: to be brave enough to receive it, to stand tall in its presence, to accept it without shrinking, to hear it without running, because when you stand face to face with the truth, you meet the version of yourself you have been avoiding, and that version is often stronger than you realized. There is a reason truth is the first step toward change. You cannot transform what you do not acknowledge. You cannot heal what you refuse to touch. You cannot grow from soil you will not kneel down and examine with your own hands. So take a moment right now to breathe in the courage that is already inside you. Let it settle into your bones. Allow it to rise like a tide within your chest. And then gently begin speaking truth to yourself. Tell yourself the truth about your habits. Tell yourself the truth about your patterns. Tell yourself the truth about the fears you've been too frightened to face. Tell yourself the truth about the dreams you have neglected. Tell yourself the truth about the gifts you have denied. Speak honestly, not harshly. with compassion, not cruelty. For the truth delivered without love can wound, but the truth delivered with love can heal even the oldest of hurts. And let me tell you, no one deserves your compassion more than you do. Once you face your truth, you will feel something stir inside you. It may be small at first, a flutter, a warming, a quiet stirring like the first movements of spring beneath winter's cold soil. But that stirring is important. It is your awakening. It is the beginning of change. You cannot begin a journey without knowing where you stand. And once you know where you stand, you can choose deliberately, boldly, faithfully where to place your next step. The truth invites you to rise. It invites you to begin again. It invites you to step into the fullness of your own becoming. So stand tall, my friend. Look inward with steady eyes and tell yourself the truth. For in the truth, you will find your strength. In the truth, you will uncover your courage. And in the truth, you will finally meet the version of yourself that is ready, truly ready, to change, to grow, and to soar beyond every limitation you once believed you had. My beloved friend, let us sit together for a moment and reflect on the quiet, steady beauty of small steps. For in a world that applauds the loud, the sudden, the dramatic, we often forget that real transformation is crafted in the gentle spaces, in the moments no one else sees, in the decisions that seem too tiny to matter. But oh, how they matter. They matter more than you can imagine. Change rarely comes like a lightning strike. It comes like the sunrise, slow, steady, painting the sky one soft stroke at a time until, before you know it, the whole world is drenched in light. You do not wake up one morning transformed simply because you wished it. You bloom because you watered yourself, a little today, a little tomorrow, again and again, without demanding to see the flower before its time. Small steps are holy. They are humble. They are honest. They ask nothing of you except consistency and courage. The courage to begin, the courage to continue, and the courage to trust that even the tiniest effort has meaning. Many people believe that if they cannot take a giant leap, then the journey is not worth starting. But the truth is this: giant leaps are rare blessings, and they require the strength built from thousands of small, faithful steps. Every marathon begins with a single stride. Every book begins with a single word. Every life change begins with a single decision, whispered quietly to yourself, "Today I will try." When you take small steps, you honor yourself. You say, "I am worthy of growing at my own pace. I do not need to rush. I do not need to compete. I simply need to move steadily forward." The beauty of small steps is that they are kind. They do not overwhelm you or ask you to carry more than your spirit can bear. They do not shout at you when you stumble. They whisper, "Come now, try again." Small steps are forgiving. They allow you to rise gently from your mistakes, to dust yourself off, and to continue without shame weighing down your shoulders. When you celebrate the small steps, you begin to shift the landscape of your life. You start noticing progress where once you only saw problems. You see movement where once you believed you were stuck. You begin to trust yourself, not because you have reached the top of the mountain, but because you have awakened each day and climbed a little higher than the day before. Each small action carries the seed of transformation. The day you choose a better thought, the moment you choose a kinder word, the hour you practice patience instead of frustration. These may seem insignificant, but they are shaping your future in powerful ways. They are teaching your mind new patterns. They are teaching your heart new rhythms. They are teaching your life a new direction. Do not underestimate what a small step can do. A single drop of water may seem meaningless, but enough drops can carve rivers through stone. A tiny flame may seem fragile, but it can ignite a fire that warms an entire home. Your small step, insignificant as it may appear, has the power to awaken the change you desire. There will be days when your progress feels invisible, days when you wonder if your small efforts matter at all. On those days, remember this: the seed does not grow the moment it is planted. It grows in the dark, beneath the soil, quietly, patiently, faithfully. And so do you. Growth that lasts is never rushed. Transformation that endures is never forced. It is nurtured. It is encouraged. It is tended with love and consistency. And small steps are the gentle hands that tend your soul. Give yourself permission to celebrate what others may overlook. Celebrate the day you woke up earlier, even if you only shifted by 10 minutes. Celebrate the moment you chose silence instead of anger. Celebrate the hour you spent learning instead of scrolling. Celebrate the glass of water you drank to honor your health. Celebrate the boundary you set to honor your peace. Each small decision is a message to yourself, a message that says, I am becoming someone new. I am honoring myself. I am walking toward a better version of me. Do not wait for applause. Do not wait for a grand moment to declare that you have changed. A life is transformed one quiet choice at a time. A heart is strengthened one gentle affirmation at a time. A mind is renewed one hopeful thought at a time. And let me tell you, my dear friend, you deserve to be celebrated, not only for the mountains you climb, but for the pebbles you step over with dignity and determination. Not only for the victories that roar, but for the persistence that whispers. Small steps are evidence of belief. Belief that you can grow. Belief that you can improve. Belief that you are worthy of a better life. And once that belief takes root, even in the smallest way, it becomes the foundation upon which great change is built. So walk gently, but walk consistently. Do not rush your blooming. Take pride in each small step, and let that pride fuel the next one. A day will come when you pause, look back, and realize you have traveled farther than you thought possible. And you did it not through sudden leaps, but through the quiet power of daily courage. Yes, my friend, small steps may seem simple, but they are sacred. They are the whispers of change, the steady heartbeat of transformation, the small, persistent movement that turns your dreams from distant hopes into living reality. My dear friend, let us take a slow breath and talk about the company you keep, the air you breathe, the influences that shape you the way the sun shapes the morning, for no soul grows in isolation. No heart rises without the winds that lift it. No mind transforms without the nourishment it receives from the world around it. You are not separate from your environment. You are shaped by it, sculpted by it, strengthened or weakened by it. And to motivate yourself toward true and lasting change, you must surround yourself with light. There is a quiet truth we often overlook: the people and places we allow into our lives either water our spirit or drain it dry. Some voices encourage our courage while others feed our fear. Some hearts walk beside us with grace while others pull us back into old patterns we have worked so hard to escape. And so the question becomes not only who am I, but also who do I allow around me? For the energies that dance around you soon become the energies that dwell within you. You cannot plant a sunflower in the shadows and expect it to bloom toward the heavens. It needs the warmth of light, the kindness of water, the softness of good soil. In the same way, your growth requires nurturing voices that uplift you, spaces that inspire you, habits that heal you. You must make choices that honor your spirit, not suffocate it. There will be people who see your desire to change and feel threatened because your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. They may laugh, question, doubt, or whisper the same old stories about who you used to be. But let them talk. Let them murmur. Their words cannot define you unless you hand them the power to do so. Remember this: you are under no obligation to stay where you are simply because others are comfortable seeing you there. Instead, seek out those who celebrate your becoming. Spend your time with souls who look at you and see your possibility rather than your past. You will know these people because they speak with kindness even when offering correction. They push you toward the light, not the shadows. They remind you to rise even on days when you feel like sinking. They hold your dreams with gentle hands and believe in them even when your faith wavers. And if you cannot find these people today, do not lose heart. Sometimes the first source of light is the one you create yourself. Sometimes the most powerful guide is the quiet wisdom in your own chest. Surround yourself with books that inspire you, words that encourage you, music that lifts you, and environments that reflect the person you want to become. Fill your home with peace. Fill your mind with hope. Fill your days with practices that align with your unfolding growth. Your environment is not only made of people, it is made of habits. Every habit you keep is a companion walking beside you. Some habits hold your hand and guide you toward clarity. Others drag you behind and whisper lies about who you can be. You must watch carefully which ones you allow to stay. Each day, make choices that honor your highest self. If a habit brings you closer to peace, nurture it. If it pushes you toward chaos, release it. There is no shame in outgrowing what once comforted you. A caterpillar must outgrow its skin before it becomes a butterfly. You too must shed what no longer fits. This is not betrayal, this is evolution. You are not leaving people or habits behind, you are stepping into the spaciousness of your own becoming. When you begin surrounding yourself with light, something beautiful happens. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart grows quieter. The path before you becomes easier to walk. You no longer fight against the current, you flow with it. You begin to hear your own voice again, the one that speaks softly but truthfully, the one that knows where you are meant to go. But be mindful, dear friend, light does not always arrive in grand gestures. Sometimes it comes in the friend who listens without judgment. Sometimes it comes in the mentor who challenges you with love. Sometimes it comes in the book that awakens a forgotten dream. Sometimes it comes in the quiet moment you spend sitting with yourself, breathing deeply, choosing peace over panic. And as you surround yourself with light, you become light for others. Your transformation becomes a lantern that shows someone else the way. Your courage becomes a reminder that growth is possible. Your discipline becomes an invitation for others to rise. That is the beautiful thing about choosing light. Its glow spreads. You are worthy of environments that honor your growth, relationships that bless your spirit, and habits that lift you toward your best self. You deserve spaces that breathe life into your bones and people who remind you of your greatness, not your guilt. You deserve a life that nourishes you, mind, heart, and soul. So today, make a promise to yourself. Choose light intentionally. Choose positivity deliberately. Choose people who make you feel seen, not small. Choose habits that build you up, not break you down. Choose environments that mirror the vision you have for your future. And if you find yourself walking alone for a season, let it not frighten you. The path of becoming is often a solitary one at the start. But walk it anyway. Walk it with grace. Walk it with dignity. Walk it with your head held high, knowing that every step forward brings new light into your life. You are shaping your future with every choice you make. Surround yourself with that which honors the beauty inside you. Surround yourself with light, and you will find that the journey toward change becomes not only possible but inevitable. My dear friend, let us sit for a while in the quiet, sacred space where healing begins. For there is a burden many of us carry without realizing its weight, the burden of yesterday, the mistakes we made, the chances we missed, the words we spoke in moments of weakness, the habits we repeated even when our spirit whispered that we deserved better. These memories cling to us like dust on our shoulders, and we move through life bowed down, believing wrongly that the past has the right to keep us from rising. But hear me clearly. You cannot step confidently into tomorrow if you are still chained to the sorrows of yesterday. You must learn to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is not an act of forgetting, no more than healing is pretending the wound never existed. Forgiveness is an act of release. It is the unclenching of the fist you have kept closed around your own heart. It is the deep exhale after years of holding your breath. It is opening the door of the prison you built yourself and walking out into the sunlight of your own possibility. Many people find it easy to forgive others, but nearly impossible to extend that same mercy to themselves. They carry their regrets like a secret punishment, believing that if they hold on to the hurt long enough, they will somehow redeem themselves. But redemption does not grow in soil watered by shame. Growth blooms only where grace has first been planted. Your spirit cannot flourish while it is wrapped tightly in guilt. Your mind cannot move freely while replaying old failures like broken records. Your heart cannot open to new beginnings while it is bruised by the echo of past mistakes. To change your behavior, To rise into a fuller version of yourself, you must lighten your load. You must whisper to your own soul, I release you. You deserve another chance. Forgiveness does not erase what happened. It simply loosens the grip the past has on your present. It says, I made mistakes, but I am not my mistakes. It says, yesterday shaped me, but it does not define me. It says, I honor the lessons, but I refuse to live in the shadows of old decisions. Imagine holding a stone in your hand, small but heavy. You carry it day after day. Eventually you forget that the stone is not part of you. You simply accept the weight. But the moment you open your hand and let the stone fall, you feel a lightness you had not known in years. This is what self-forgiveness does. It reminds you that the weight was never meant to be permanent. Forgiving yourself is an act of courage. It requires you to face the parts of yourself you have tried to avoid. It requires you to acknowledge your humanity, your flaws, your vulnerabilities. But in doing so, you discover a deeper truth. You are more than your errors. You are a soul learning, growing, becoming. You are a work in progress, yes, but also a work of beauty. Some wounds you carry were never meant to be wounds in the first place. They were lessons disguised as pain. There were opportunities wrapped in misunderstanding. There were moments that showed you where healing was needed, not where shame should take root. Do not punish yourself for learning. There will be days when the old memories try to sit beside you again. They will whisper of your failures, remind you of the times you stumbled, the moments you disappointed yourself. When they come, greet them not with fear but with understanding. Say to them, I have learned from you. I honor you, but you have no place in this chapter. And gently, compassionately let them go. Forgiving yourself is not a single act but a practice. It is something you return to whenever your heart grows heavy with regret. Some days the forgiveness will come easily, like a soft breeze. Other days it will feel like trying to move mountains with your hands. But do it anyway. Keep showing up. Keep choosing grace. Remember this truth: you are not meant to remain defined by your lowest moments. You are meant to rise above them, to grow through them, to transform because of them. The same fire that once burned you can become the fire that shapes you. When you forgive yourself, you create space for change. You free your heart to receive new wisdom. You open your mind to new possibilities. You allow your behavior to shift, not out of fear of repeating old mistakes, but out of love for the life you are creating. You cannot pour self-love into a heart that has been hardened by self-blame. You cannot build a future with hands still clutching the past. Release yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Speak to your soul the way you would speak to a dear friend, with kindness, with patience, with unwavering compassion. Every person walking this earth has stumbled. Every heart has cracked. Every soul has moments it wishes it could rewrite. You are not alone in your imperfections. You are not the only one learning how to heal. You are human, and humanity is a tapestry woven with both triumph and trial. So do not shame yourself for being in the process of becoming. Do not hide your scars. They are proof that you survived. They are proof that you are learning. They are proof that you are brave enough to continue. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't know better. Forgive yourself for the times you knew better but couldn't quite do better. Forgive yourself for the moments you were scared, lost, overwhelmed. Forgive yourself for needing time, for needing space, for needing healing. And when you forgive yourself, truly forgive, you will feel the shift. You will feel the past loosen its fingers from your shoulders. You will feel the future open its arms to you. You will feel the strength of your own heart beating again with hope. Forgive yourself, my friend. Not because you deserve punishment, but because you deserve peace. My dear friend, let us walk slowly into the heart of purpose, for it is here, right here, that true motivation is born. When life feels heavy and the road ahead seems long, it is not discipline alone that keeps your feet moving. It is not willpower alone that carries you forward. It is your why, the deep, quiet, pulsing reason beneath your ribs that lifts you when every other force within you feels tired. To change your behavior in any lasting way, you must stay connected to this sacred reason, this anchor, this fire that refuses to go out. Your why is not always loud. It does not always shout your name or shake you awake with urgency. Sometimes it speaks in a whisper, soft as morning light slipping through your curtains. Sometimes it calls to you through a memory, a dream, a hope you've carried for years. Sometimes it visits you in the silent moments when your heart aches for something better, something truer, something that aligns with the fullness of who you are becoming. You must learn to listen to that whisper. It is your compass. It is your guide. There will be days when change feels difficult. Days when old habits tug at your sleeves, inviting you back into patterns you promised yourself you would leave behind. Days when your motivation flickers like a candle in the wind. It is in those moments, especially those moments, when you must remember why you began. Perhaps your why is peace. Perhaps it is health. Perhaps it is freedom from pain or fear. Perhaps it is becoming the person you know you truly are beneath the noise. Perhaps it is for your children, your family, your future. Perhaps it is for the version of yourself who once prayed to be where you are now. Whatever your reason, hold it close. Guard it. Protect it. Let it be the lantern you carry through every dark valley. Your why is the truth of your longing. It is the deepest expression of your desire to rise above your circumstances and move toward a life you can be proud of. And when you keep that truth before your eyes, your behavior naturally begins to shift. You no longer act from a place of pressure, but from a place of purpose. You no longer move out of guilt, but out of grace. You no longer change because someone told you to. You change because your soul is ready. Your why is the fuel that keeps the flame of transformation burning. Without it, your efforts become hollow, temporary, easily abandoned at the first sign of difficulty. But when your actions spring from the well of purpose, even your smallest steps take on meaning. Even your struggles feel sacred. Even your slow days become part of the journey. There's a power in knowing why you want to change. That power whispers to you, keep going when the world says give up. It steadies your heart. It strengthens your spine. It makes you brave enough to continue even when fear tries to steal your voice. And let me tell you something I have learned in my own seasons of growth. Your why will not always feel convenient. It will not always bring comfort. Sometimes it will challenge you. Sometimes it will stretch you. Sometimes it will pull you out of places you would rather stay because staying feels familiar, and familiar feels safe. But your why does not want you safe, it wants you free. It wants you whole. It wants you healed. It wants you strong. It wants you transformed from the inside out. When the journey becomes difficult, do not ask yourself, can I keep going? Instead ask, why did I begin? And your heart will answer with a truth powerful enough to move mountains. Write your why somewhere you can see it. Speak it out loud. Hold it in the palms of your hands. Return to it again and again as often as you need. Let it be the anchor that keeps you grounded and the wind that carries you forward. Your reason for change may evolve over time. What started as a desire to break an old habit may grow into a deeper longing for self-respect. What began as a small hope for improvement may blossom into a vision of a life you never believed you were worthy of before. Allow your why to shift as you do. Let it expand with your spirit. The moment you lose sight of your purpose, you begin to drift. But the moment you reconnect with your why, everything becomes clear again. The path straightens, the fog lifts, the strength returns. And suddenly you are not walking, you are rising. There will come a day when you look back and realize that this reason, this quiet flame, carried you farther than any burst of motivation ever could. Because motivation is a spark, it flares quickly and can fade just as fast. But purpose is a fire that once lit burns steadily through every season. It warms you, it guides you, it sustains you. Do not walk through life without knowing your why. Do not try to change without understanding the root of your longing. Do not attempt to grow without first anchoring your heart to something deeper than desire alone. Your why is the promise you make to yourself. The promise that says, I deserve to become everything I was meant to be. And when you hold that promise close, your behavior begins to change not out of struggle, but out of alignment. Not by force, but by direction. Not with confusion, but with confidence. So take a moment, dear friend, and place your hand over your heart. Listen. Really listen. Somewhere deep within you, your why is speaking. It has been speaking for a long time. And when you answer its call, you step into the fullness of your own becoming. Hold your why like a sacred flame. Nurture it. Protect it. Let it lead you. For when you stay connected to the reason behind your journey, there is nothing, no doubt, no fear, no old habit that can keep you from rising into the beautiful, powerful, liberated version of yourself you were always destined to be.